What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Project Z here on the channel. By the title and the thumbnail of this video, you can probably tell what we're going to be doing today. Now, I have been planning this for a while, and before we start, I want to send a special shout out to Z1 Motorsports for providing the exhaust that will be going on the car today. Now, for any of you that have a Z chassis car that are looking for a new exhaust, or any parts for your car, hit up Z1. They're local to me here in Georgia. They have a wide variety of all the parts that I need, and they were the first people that I turned to when I need an exhaust. So I'll leave a link in the description for Z1 Motorsports, so go check them out. But now we're about to check out what kind of exhaust I got. So for this car, there are numerous different brands that you can go with as far as an exhaust goes. Now, as you can tell, I have a single exit exhaust on here right now. Now, this is not any special kind of thing. This is literally me taking the stock muffler, taking that off, and creating a straight pipe from the mid pipe back, and I'm going to be doing away with that. So, without further ado, we look right here, and we have the exhaust. Now, this is an actual Greddy exhaust. This is their RS, which is their race exhaust, single exit, and it's full stainless steel. Now, I've already opened this to make sure that nothing was damaged in here, but as you can see, she's big. There's no denying that. She is big. So what we have is a full stainless exhaust. If I'm not mistaken, this is 3-inch, but it's supposed to mount directly up to your stock Y pipe. So this is the Y pipe back exhaust, not a cat back. The Y pipe is after the cats, so technically it becomes a Y pipe back exhaust. This exhaust kit comes with all the gaskets that you need, extra bolts. All the hangers are in the factory locations, so you don't have to worry about modifying anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this all unwrapped and go ahead and start installing this badass exhaust. So I only jacked up one side of the car, just so you can kind of see this. But if you look right there, that is where your mid pipe bolts up, and that's where your Y pipe goes to the cats. So the only thing that we're replacing is essentially this pipe that goes right here and ends back there. So this will take the place of this pipe. So we're going to be pulling this one off and then replacing the pipe in the very back. So I'm going to go ahead and get these bolts loosened. I'm going to pre-soak them real quick with some penetrating oil, just so they'll come off a lot easier. And then we should be good to go. Just letting you know, these bolts have never been taken off. So this one decided that it didn't want to cooperate, so I put one of my snap-on wrenches on here and pulled this way, and it's coming off now. So that's one more thing off the list, and hopefully the hangers shouldn't be too bad. I know they've been on here for a while, but I think once I spray them down, they should be fine. But we'll see. Now I will say this is probably not the best way to jack a car up, but if you don't have a lift and you're by yourself, this is as good as you can do. But thankfully it gives me enough room to work, and the bolts are pretty centered as far as the exhaust goes. So not having too big of a problem with it. But I'm gonna get this part off, and I'm gonna get the hangers off, and then we should be home free to go ahead and put the other exhaust in. A little hard to film it with one hand, but I got this out. So this is your stock mid pipe, and that's going to be your resonator. Now normally you would have a big exhaust that goes all the way back this way to a dual out. I actually took that completely out, and I welded up a little straight pipe. It's not perfect. It actually was like 4 or 5 different pieces that you know, I chopped up and welded. But anyway, all that's done. So now the next step is I gotta get this mid pipe unwrapped, get this ready to go, and this will take the place of that pipe there. Less bends, it's a lot straighter, and it's gonna look pretty good. So I'm gonna get this unwrapped. I'm gonna go ahead and get it test fitted up there just to make sure that everything's good to go, and then this will be the last piece that goes on, and that'll finalize everything, and we'll see what it sounds like after everything's done. So mid pipe is in. I need to tighten those 2 bolts up there, but I've got it in the hanger. Last bit of it is just getting it ran back this way. This ground is actually not even going to be used after this, so that part we don't have to worry about, but the exhaust is back up. I just need to tighten those up and then move back to here, and we should be good. So when you get this, they send you 4 bolts. Okay. Now I'm assuming that if you get an aftermarket Y pipe, which I do not have, so they send you 4 bolts, 4 nuts, and you got 2 gaskets. I've already used the other one on the mid pipe. This one is for collecting this one to the other one. So nice hardware, zinc coated. It's not cheap stuff. This is one of the ones that came off. As you can see, it's pretty cruddy, so glad to be taking care of that. Anyway, mid pipe's on. I'm not going to be able to film trying to put the muffler on, but I will show you once it is on and how it fits, and I think it should be pretty good. So we're going to find out in just a minute. So the exhaust is fully in. As you can see, it says RS Race on the side. The only thing I need to do is take that ground off, because now it's not necessary. But as you can tell, full stainless all the way back. Got the big muffler here, and it lines up really well with that opening. As you can see, it's pretty centered. It's actually not that bad. So I'm going to take that ground down, get the car down on the ground, see if we have any leaks, if we have any rattles. If we do, I'll put the car back up in the air and see, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. Okay, so maybe you're not supposed to do that when you first put it on, but I mean, it doesn't sound horrible. I was hoping for a little bit more of a deeper sound, but I mean, I can't really complain over that. That was not bad. So it definitely beats this. Like, this stock exhaust is definitely garbage. Like, I was not happy with anything about this, so this is definitely a huge improvement, and it's a big ass tip. Like, I'm not gonna put my hand in there, but I mean, my fist is about the size of this, so definitely makes a lot different sound than what I had on here before. So yeah. So I'm letting you guys know ahead of time. I don't know how well you're able to hear me. over the exhaust because it's pretty loud and my microphone is not wanting to pick up very well, but let's see. Hearing it from the inside of the car is totally different than hearing it from the outside, because apparently inside of the car tells a completely different story. Like the outside sounds way different, but the inside sounds way better in my opinion. So I'm gonna let the car warm up for a minute, and hopefully after that I'll get some driving clips. I'll get on it a couple of times just to see if it made a difference as far as overall acceleration. It is starting to rain, so that may hinder it a little bit. Probably not going to catch much traction because these cars don't really get traction anyway, but about to find out. If the audio is blown out after this, I may go back and try and do it again, but we'll see what happens. So what I can tell right away is there's a center bar underneath the car where the exhaust was getting pretty close anyway, and I wasn't sure if it was going to hit, but just taking off I could feel that the exhaust was kind of hitting it a little bit, so I'm going to have to go back and kind of modify that a little bit. But other than that, I mean, the exhaust actually sounds pretty good compared to, you know, the little straight pipe that I had on there before. But I mean, Greddy nailed it on this one. It's got a nice sound to it. If you're just free revving it, you know, not under load or anything like that, it does sound pretty raspy, and it does have like a, you know, a fart can sound to it. But if you literally are just driving and are putting along, it's not bad. So this is probably like the third or fourth product that I've had by Greddy. So I'm you know, I'm not surprised by the craftsmanship of their product. So I was a little surprised at the fact that this actually fit up as well as it did, but thankfully I didn't have to do any modifications. It worked with the stock hangers and everything, or the stock bushings. So I didn't have to do any modifications there. The only thing I may have to modify is just that one cross member bar that's under there. May have to either remove it or see if maybe it's bent, and that's why it's kind of touching the exhaust. But otherwise, I'm gonna say A+ to Greddy for this one, because it actually was a really, really good exhaust. So I'm gonna end it there. The next video I actually have something else exhaust oriented, and I'll be changing something else. It's probably going to change the tone of this car and the volume of this car as well. But stay tuned. Be sure, if you guys haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And we'll be having more and more videos coming up very soon. I just have been behind on the content so far, but bear with me. I'll have new videos coming up soon. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.